A.R.T. by Charity Talla. Copyright 2025. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced in any form by any electronic or mechanical means, including information storage and retrieval systems, except in the case of brief quotations embodied in critical articles or reviews, without permission in writing from its publisher, Literary Landmarks Publishing Company. The characters and events portrayed in this book are fictitious or are used fictitiously. Any similarity to real persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental and not intended by the author. All brand names and product names used in this book are trademarks, registered trademarks, or trade names of their respective holders. Generational Alliances, FT, is not associated with any product or vendor in this book.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Nelson Mandela. For I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Author's note. Content warning. A.R.T. tells the story of two young adults who find strength in each other as they confront the challenges of familial loss, suicidal thoughts, and trauma experienced during adolescence. These themes are explored in various chapters throughout the book and may trigger difficult emotions, so readers are advised to proceed with caution. Thank you for reading, and please remember that you are not alone. Support and help is always available for those in need. One love, one God. Chapter 17. 1 month has passed since the art showcase. 1 month since Mrs. Catherine encouraged me to apply for their intern program. And 1 month since I've kept my distance from Professor Tompkinson, the latter being the most challenging part. The week-long spring break arrived just in time. Even though I dreaded the drive, going back home to North Carolina felt like a welcome change. It was nice to see my parents and enjoy my mom's home-cooked meals, but after 4 days of my mom pestering me about my choice of friends and wanting to spend every waking moment together, a week felt more like an eternity. There are 6 weeks left until my second year of college is over. I can't believe how quickly time is flying, but I'm ready for what the new year will bring. Next semester, I'm signed up for a ceramics and figure drawing class that I'm genuinely looking forward to. Before I left for spring break, I requested to withdraw from Professor Tompkinson's advanced art program. Dr. Carlton wasn't too pleased and tried to persuade me otherwise, saying, "You'll be throwing away a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Maybe wait until after the break to think it over some more." But that's the thing. I don't want to think about it. There will never be enough time to fill the void I've created in my heart if I'm haunted by his presence every week for the next 2 years. What I need is space. Things between us haven't really felt awkward. Honestly, he still treats me the same, but my heart deserves a break. I deserve a break. So if avoiding him every other day will give me that relief, then I have no choice. After convincing Dr. Carlton that my decision to drop the program had nothing to do with Professor Tompkinson and was more about feeling overwhelmed by my other classes, even though I haven't scored lower than an 86 in any of them, he had no choice but to approve my request. I will always be grateful for the professor taking time out of his busy schedule to help me overcome my fear of drawing portraits, but it was those moments we shared that put me in this predicament in the first place. Ugh. I step into the dark and hot apartment, immediately turning on the AC and unloading the packaged food from the cooler to put it in the fridge and freezer, leaving the frozen lasagna for dinner. It's only 4:30 p.m., but I figure it will take about an hour to cook. In the meantime, I'll head over to Ronnie's and Darian's place to see how their spring break went. Ronnie and I only messaged intermittently, but I'm sure she had a blast during her 5-day Caribbean cruise. I'm low-key hoping Darian isn't there. There's no specific reason why. No, that's a lie. There's a laundry list of reasons why.
"Hey, girl,"
Ronnie beams as she opens the door, pulling me out of my internal monologue. "Hey, me? Hey, you, look at you." She twirls around. Talk about reinventing yourself. We hug as I step inside. Ronnie, who typically sports shoulder-length pink hair and gothic attire with numerous piercings, now has small hoop earrings in each ear, casual whitewash blue jean shorts, a plain white t-shirt, and her natural brown hair styled in a sleek ponytail.
What do you think? Is it too much of a change?
No way, I shake my head still in disbelief. It's a great change. I love it. My smile widens to match the cheeky grin on her face.
Really? You think?
Not just think, I know. We both giggle.
When did you get back?
She asks, munching on some popcorn she places on the coffee table as we sit down. I swear this girl is always eating popcorn. About 10 minutes ago. I pop a handful into my mouth, unable to resist the buttery aroma. What about you?
Darian and I've been back.
She shifts in her seat to check her phone.
It's been about an hour, but he should be here by now. He went to pick up Jacob. They must have made a stop or something.
I nod, trying not to overthink it or glance at Ronnie, goofy, smile. Why are you looking at me like that?
Nothing.
She says, shaking her head while scooping up another handful of popcorn. So, has Jacob seen the new you?
No. I'm really nervous about it. Like, what if he doesn't like it, or thinks I'm just trying to be someone else to get him back?
Unfortunately, Ronnie and Jacob are on another break, which seems to have started after the art showcase. There were rumors that he made out with one of the presenting artists. I suspect that Madison girl, she was being extremely flirty with him and Darian that night. It shouldn't matter if he likes it or thinks you're trying to be someone else. She glances in my direction, but our eyes don't connect. I hate seeing her like this. Jacob doesn't deserve her, but sadly, she'll have to figure that out on her own. Hey, I say, lifting her chin so she's looking at me. Do you like the way you look now? Once again, her eyes shift to her fidgeting hands as she exhales slowly, then looks back up.
Yes, I do.
She replies confidently with a nod.
It's a huge change, but I think this new me is the real me.
Her smile lights up her eyes, creating small creases in the corners. I return her smile. 30 minutes later, the sound of commotion bursts through the front door.
Finally! What took you guys so long? You better have brought food.
Ronnie threatens with a pointed finger and a stern expression, which makes me laugh.
Is that all you think about?
I turn at the sound of Darian's sharp voice. His furrowed brows relax when he sees me.
Anora?
Hi, Darian, I say, waving.
Hey.
He places the bags on the kitchen counter and walks to where I'm standing. Oh, he pulls me into a hug. Forgot to shave? I tease. He looks at me for a moment.
Right.
He chuckles, running a hand over his chin.
I'm trying something new, but I'm not sure how I feel about it yet.
Shrugging, he maintains his composure, appearing more attractive than ever. It distracts me enough that I burst out, "No, it looks good!" Our eyes meet, resulting in an involuntary moment as a smile spreads across his lips. I quickly look away, clearing my throat. I mean, it's cool.
Well, if you two are done flirting, where's Stupido?
Ronnie chimes in, and I can't help but chuckle at her choice of words.
He's bringing up the rest of the groceries.
Darian replies, ignoring Ronnie's comment. As I round the couch, I consider offering my help, but Ronnie speaks first.
I'll go help him.
He has help.
Darian says as he strides toward the kitchen.
From whom?
The front door opens, revealing Jacob carrying bags in both hands, followed by someone else I can't quite see but can definitely hear.
Veronica?
I'm not quite sure why he sounds surprised to see Ronnie, as if he doesn't know she lives here. Then it hits me. He hasn't seen the new Ronnie.
Jacob.
Ronnie's tone is sharp as she shifts her weight to her right leg and crosses her arms. I can only imagine what expression she's wearing, but it likely isn't pleasant, as the atmosphere becomes increasingly awkward.
Hi.
A timid voice echoes through the room as the speaker steps into view. She's definitely not Alice. Extending her hand, she says,
I'm Madison.
A few tense seconds pass before Ronnie finally shakes it.
Ronnie.
Ronnie?
Madison glances at Jacob.
Jake, you said her name was Veronica.
She laughs.
You were at the art showcase, right?
Jake?
Ronnie scoffs with an annoyed laugh. Jacob doesn't seem bothered, and I'm not sure if that frustrates me more. Like Ronnie, I shake my head in disappointment.
My name is Veronica, but most people call me Ronnie.
She clarifies.
I thought I recognized you, but you look so different now.
Madison observes, studying Ronnie as if she's a puzzle to solve.
It's your hair, isn't it? It was pink back then, right?
Her bubbly demeanor feels overdone, but it matches her appearance. She fits the description of your typical blonde-haired, blue-eyed Barbie doll. and I'm not saying this to be cruel. Even a warped board has more curves. I don't consider myself voluptuous, but I have enough curves to appear healthy, if that even makes sense. I'm sure I could wrap one hand around her upper arm, which is exposed by her fitted blush pink shirt. When we met her at the museum, she was dressed in a long, flowing floral dress paired with a cream cardigan, which obscured her figure and made her seem effortlessly stylish. But now, standing before me, her slender frame seems even more pronounced, and I can't help but notice the sharpness of her cheekbones and the way her dress hangs loosely on her. The shift in her appearance is striking, leaving me concerned. Ronnie's strained gaze remains fixed on Jacob as she moves away from the door. Jacob, being the coward that he is, keeps his head down and his mouth shut as they both enter. Stupido. The tension is palpable and I feel bad for Ronnie, but somehow she's holding it together, even though this jerk had the audacity to bring another girl here, knowing Ronnie would be present as well. Stupido. Crap, I blurt out, interrupting Madison mid-sentence. To be honest, I have no idea what the girl was saying. I have food in the oven, I add apologetically, relieved to have the perfect excuse. I deliberately avoid looking at Darian. I can't risk him concocting some reason to walk me back to my apartment. Instead, I focus on Ronnie, who is already looking at me with pleading eyes that say, "Please don't leave me here." "Ronnie, I brought something for you," I say, blinking quickly.
Oh, okay.
She jumps off the counter stool with too much excitement. I suppress a laugh.
It was nice seeing you again, Madison.
She says politely, but rolls her eyes at Jacob as she walks toward the door.
I'll head down with you guys.
Jacob declares, approaching us. Ronnie scoffs.
Why?
I left something in the car.
He replies, avoiding eye contact with her. Ronnie tisks and rolls her eyes, extending her hand.
What is it? I'll grab it before I come back.
It's fine, I can get it.
Jacob says as he walks past us and out the door. Ronnie presses her lips together in annoyance as she follows suit. Being the last to leave, I wave goodbye to Darian and Madison. Waiting for the elevator felt awkward, but it was nothing compared to the tension in the ride down 2 floors. It was clear they both had something to say, yet instead, they opted for lip smacking, exaggerated inhales, and loud exhales. The most amusing part was their attempts to completely ignore each other. The ding of the elevator felt like music to my ears, and as soon as the doors opened wide enough, I bolted, eager to leave them to deal with their own problems.
Veronica, wait.
Jacob called out just as I opened the door to my apartment. "I'm going to head in," I announce, addressing no one in particular. As I step inside, a wave of the rich aroma of melted cheese and simmering tomato sauce envelops me, urging me to dash toward the oven. A wave of relief washes over me as I catch sight of the lasagna, perfectly cooked and not burnt. "Thank God," I murmur, the mouth-watering scent making my stomach growl in response.
What are you talking about, Jacob?
Ronnie's voice slices through the air, and I realize that if I can hear her, then the nearby rooms can likely hear her too.
This is what you always do, Veronica. You say you want nothing to do with me, and when I try to move on, you make me feel guilty for it.
Jacob shouts back.
No,
"Sorry to interrupt, guys," I say in a calm tone. They both turn to look at me with pressed lips and tense expressions. Ronnie's arms are crossed while Jacob is pacing back and forth with his hands on his hips. "I think you two should continue this conversation inside." I didn't want to outright say, "You're being loud," but it was clear they were.
Not necessary, Anora. I'm done.
Ronnie snaps as she storms into my apartment.
See, this is exactly what I mean.
Jacob says, throwing his hand up in frustration.
You're always so quick to bail on a serious conversation.
Bull.
Ronnie retorts.
I just refuse to listen to the crap coming out of your mouth. You can go walk back upstairs and try that with little Miss Perfect up there,
she adds, blinking away the tears that are beginning to spill as she holds his gaze. It's heartbreaking, but maybe Jacob needs to understand the pain he's caused. With a heavy sigh, Jacob steps closer to Ronnie, but she pushes him away, resisting his embrace a couple of shoves before finally giving in. As she cries into his chest, he holds her tighter, murmuring repeated apologies. There's no way I'm going to get Ronnie's attention, so I decide to send her a text, informing her that I'm going for a walk and to call me when they're finished. The sun hasn't begun to set yet, but the early evening weather in April is perfect. According to the forecast, we're expecting heavy showers in the next day or so. I don't mind the rain, it's beneficial for the earth, but I'm not fond of the thunderstorms and lightning that often accompany it. 15 or 20 minutes later, I find myself approaching the college administration office. Pausing near the steps, I gaze up at the towering building before me. I can't help but think of him, the one I've managed not to think about at all today. I wonder if he spent his spring break alone with a companion or with family. It shouldn't matter, it's not like we're...
Miss Thomas?
If only I had a warning, a sign of some sort. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten on the elevator, walked out of my apartment lobby, strolled through Washington Square Park, or stopped where I did. Perhaps I could have avoided this situation entirely. But I did take the elevator, intending to walk out of the lobby and into the midday air. And while it wasn't planned, I deliberately pause where I am, hoping to catch a glimpse of him, even if the chances were slim to none. I don't need to see his face to know who just called my name. There's only one person who says it in such a caring yet timid manner. Only one person who can make time feel like it stands still with just his presence. Turning to face him is one of the hardest things I'll have to do. Speaking comes in close second. Hi, Professor. Chapter 18.
I thought it was you.
He smiles, but it seems a bit forced. I can't help but wonder if mine looks just as strained.
What are you doing out here? Eager to start classes?
He asks with a soft chuckle. Even his barely audible laugh warms my sun-kissed skin. Madness. Oh no, I'm just out walking. I hear it's good for your health. My legs are unsure whether to stay to the right or left as they compete with my attention. More focused on the people passing by than the person in front of me. It feels like I've forgotten how to be around him. Madness.
You must live nearby,
He observes, but I respond anyway. Yes, about 15 to 20 minutes that way, I say, pointing in the appropriate direction. Our eyes bounce back and forth as the conversation lulls. I want to ask how his break was, whether he stayed local or traveled, but I bite my tongue instead.
You're dropping my class for next semester. Why?
He already knows? There was no other way, I reply, offering an answer that doesn't say much, and judging by his expression, he understands that too.
Well, I'll let you be on your way. It was nice seeing you, Miss Thomas.
You too, Professor Tompkinson. We exchange small smiles before waving goodbye. Watching him walk up the concrete stairs and pass through the double doors of the administration building, feel like I'm losing everything once again. So, before I talk myself out of it, I start walking up those same concrete stairs and through those same double doors, hoping to say something that remains unclear to me. Arth, Professor Tompkinson! My eyes scan the open space. Thankfully, there's no one in sight. He stands still, waiting as I quicken my pace toward the elevators. I don't look up until I'm within arm's reach, and then it happens. A distinct flutter in the left side of my chest, and difficulty taking a proper breath.
Miss Thomas, did you need something?
You? I dare to say, but my honesty fails me as I hold his gaze, enveloped by his masculine scent, refreshing, like being surrounded by nature after a thunderstorm, sending my mind into a chaotic whirlwind of thoughts I shouldn't be having right now, or ever. His expression remains neutral for a moment before shifting to one of concern. His eyes begin to scan the room before he takes a step closer.
Anora.
My lips part for a soundless breath. Why? I'm already a mess. Completely unaware of the intense heat making me feel like I'm about to evaporate. So why did he do it? He should know better. He should know that whispering my name will reach deep into my core, anchoring itself firmly, leaving no chance of escape, and sealing my fate within the intensity of his gaze. It's madness.
Anora?
I want to cry, loudly and obnoxiously, because how can he not know? Huh? I blink, no longer sure of why I sought him out in the first place. His eyes are filled with concern, and I don't like it. Not one bit.
You called for me,
He says cautiously.
Did you need something?
Oh, I don't know. The weight of my shoulders drops. I'm clearly incapable of articulating anything to fix the damage I'm causing myself. Scratching my head, I laugh. It's a silly reaction since there's nothing funny about this awkward moment. Don't cry. Sorry.
Miss Thomas, wait.
My retreat stops abruptly, not that it had much choice, held in place by the firm yet gently grip the professor has on my upper arm. I can't help but feel a bit ashamed that I don't want him to let go, but he does.
There's something I need to give you.
I blink. Okay. A smile tugs at the corners of his closed lips as he looks at my outstretched hand.
It's in my office.
He states, pressing the up button for the elevator. I laugh again, for no apparent reason. Oh, okay. Nibbling my bottom lip, I clasp my fingers behind my back to keep them still. The elevator is large enough to hold 6 to 8 people, but with only the professor and me inside, it feels rather cramped.
Did you enjoy your spring break?
It felt quite long, I reply, keeping my gaze fixed ahead.
Really?
The genuine surprise in his tone piques my interest, and I catch a glimpse of his expression.
Did you have to work?
His eyes meet mine, but I look away. Oh, no, nothing like that. Wetting my lips, I inhale deeply. It's my mom. Exhale. She's become, well, to put it simply, she can be a bit overwhelming at times. I laugh, but silently I'm confessing. My mom is overbearing, loving at best, but she likes to plan my every waking moment when I'm home since moving away for college. It can feel suffocating, but I can't bring myself to say no, even for the things I desperately want to avoid. After the 2 difficult years I put her through, I feel like I owe it to her. I resented her and made sure she knew it. Every single day I had to wake up when I wished I didn't. I even forced myself to build a closer relationship with my dad just to spite her, making her feel as I did inside, dead. Dead to the world, dead to my youth, dead to any present or future happiness. Sometimes my heart would ache after saying something hurtful, rolling my eyes, or simply by not responding at all. Whenever I overheard her quiet sobs or private conversations with my dad, seeking guidance because she felt lost, I wanted to console her, to tell her I'm sorry, that my anger runs far deeper than she could see. But then I remember all the times I reached out to her, all the signs I laid out for her to notice because it was too uncomfortable to show my dad. But she didn't listen. She chose not to see. She self-diagnosed my unexplained tears, my pleading sighs, and my isolation as typical teenage behavior. Instead of recognizing the changes and questioning my unusual habits, she took the easy route. That I could not forgive. That I cannot forget. Even now, thinking about it irritates a nerve in my core that has yet to heal. But slowly, over time, I learned to channel all that hatred into something I grew to love. Art. I sense his presence before I notice his stance.
Do you need to sit down?
My brows furrow. No, why? The professor stands in front of me, concern replacing his normally neutral expression. His intense gaze makes me feel as if he can see all my imperfections. His furrowed brows deepen.
You were panting.
I swallow slowly. Oh, I must have drifted off in thought. I smile, though it feels inadequate.
I see. Your mom can be quite a handful,
He says as he moves back to his previous position, but the intensity of his stare lingers. Yes, as you know, he hums. So, I say with little enthusiasm, how was your spring break?
Apparently not long enough.
The hallway is eerily quiet. Are we the only ones here? I ask. The professor glances my way as he pulls a set of keys from his pocket.
It seems that way.
After unlocking the door, he holds it open. I hesitate.
Does being alone with me in my office makes you uncomfortable?
There he goes again, asking a question that shouldn't stir my fluttering heart, but it does. Even his gaze, intense and piercing with those aching brown eyes, seems to penetrate my very being. Eyes that will always perceive me as a student, despite occasionally hinting at something else. I want you. I don't want you. I shouldn't want you. I redirect my gaze and respond firmly, no. As I step into his office, I notice a single painting on the left side wall. Oh my God, is that... I'm seeing it, but struggling to believe my eyes. Is that what I think it is? The professor smiles shyly, moving closer to where I'm standing.
I suppose you do have an eye for art if you recognize whose work this is. especially since it's the artist's earliest piece.
I scoff. Are you kidding me? I can spot that artist's work from a mile away, I boast. Did I not tell you I wrote my college application essay about him? How he inspired me?
No, I don't recall.
Is it real?
Of course,
He replies with a smirk and an arched brow. Really? How did you get so lucky?
it was a gift from Dr. Carlton.
The art director? What did you do to deserve such a gift? He shrugs. That old man just became 10 times cooler. While the professor rummages through his desk drawers, I continue to scan his office, more like being a nosy bee. Surprisingly, the room is quite simple. A dark brown, rustic wood desk occupies the center of the box-shaped space. 2 black iron open bookshelves standing tall against the right wall are filled with a collection of art textbooks and black folders. My fingers itch with curiosity to see what's inside those folders, but I manage to move on. 2 basic black cushioned chairs are positioned in front of the desk, separated by a small walking space in between. A medium-sized window sits directly behind his high-backed Blackwing chair, and a standard metal filing cabinet with 6 drawers is stationed a few inches to the left of the main feature, rounding out the typical office aesthetic. However, a stunning landscape painting breathes life into the otherwise dim room, showcasing bold oranges, yellows, and reds. It is absolutely beautiful.
Here it is.
The professor calls out, grabbing my attention. I turn my expression toward him. So you brought me up here to give me, homework? He grimaces.
No, this is the application for the art museum.
Oh my gosh! Yes, the internship. Right, but wait. How do you know?
Catherine told me you two talked, but you never mentioned it. Do you still?
Yes, I still want to, I reply, even though my mind is struggling to forget that he just referred to another woman by her first name. Are they...
Don't. It's none of your business.
You two must be really close, I say, against my better judgment. He glances up from skimming the papers.
Who? Catherine and me?
I nod.
We've known each other since high school.
He responds, returning his attention to the documents. My heart sinks. I shouldn't be surprised he has close female friends. They're probably just companions.
There's about 4 pages, so take it home and bring it back to class when you've filled it out.
He says, pulling me out of my self-pity.
It also looks like you'll need to submit a portfolio, but I have yours, so you don't need to worry about that part.
Okay, is all I can manage, extending my hand, but he lifts the paper out of reach.
Why did you drop my class?
Not this again. I told you why.
Try again.
He insists with a demanding look. Rude. Clearing my throat, I cross my arms. I had my reasons.
And what reasons might those be?
He crosses his arms and I roll my eyes. Does it really matter?
Yes, Anora, it does. Especially if it's going to hinder your art career.
What? He tosses the papers on his desk, deep lines forming between his brows as he turns away. I can't understand why he's reacting this way. It's not like what I'm doing affects him. Look, I'm overwhelmed with my studies and the classes that offer less stress conflict with yours. That's all. This has nothing to do with you, so you can stop pretending like you care. I say the words, but even I find them hard to believe.
Are you kidding me? Why would I?
If his tone isn't enough to convey his anger, the prominent vein in his neck and the way he places his hands on his hips certainly paint a clear picture.
Anora,
He says softly, too softly for me to question what he'll say next.
what makes you think I don't care?
I can't answer that question, and I shouldn't answer it.
Have I not made my intentions?
He sighs, rubbing a hand over his face. I'm at a loss for how to process what's happening in front of me. My heart believes one thing while my head insists on the complete opposite. Should I assume? No, I can't assume. Shouldn't assume. When he turns away, I take the intern application off his desk.
You asked about me when I was gone.
He says calmly, cutting through the silence.
Why?
My hand rests on the doorknob, but I don't turn it, nor do I look back at him. Just knowing his gaze could be on me sends shivers through my bones, but I push through the tremors and summon a version of the truth. Everyone asked about you, not just me.
but you were the only one who spoke to Dr. Carlton. Why?
That old man should have kept his mouth shut. I didn't seek him out, if that's what you're implying, I say, glancing over my shoulder. We kind of ran into each other. He steps around his desk, moving closer in a direction I both hope he'll stop and secretly wish he'd continue. I shut my eyes and take a breath.
Just like you ran into me today.
I slowly open my eyes to slits, meeting his challenging gaze. I neither deny nor agree. Your name came up, so I asked. Big deal, I shrug. Last I checked, there's no harm in asking about your teachers.
No.
He stops in his tracks.
There's no harm in asking.
His gaze holds me captive for several heart-pounding moments as he steps closer again.
Unless there was another reason.
There wasn't, I say too quickly, but I can't think straight. The air in the room is thinning as the space between us vanishes. I'm grateful I'm still standing.
I find that very hard to believe,
he says in a dangerously low tone, and he seems oblivious to how close we are as I let out a soft, wah. I want to look away, but I can't bring myself to do it. As I turn my gaze away from his, I sense a release from his hold, allowing my hidden anger to surface. You know, my dropping your class is all your fault, I point out.
My fault?
He takes a step back. Yes, yours. I exhale deeply. The day I fainted, that stupid moment ruined everything. If you hadn't, I catch myself, silencing my tongue between my teeth.
What stupid moment?
He asks, completely ignoring my retreat. Just forget it, I murmur, releasing a sigh that feels like a weight pressing down on my temples. Closing my eyes, I rest the back of my head against the door, feeling utterly drained, both mentally and physically. I try to dismiss it all, but slowly I find my eyes reopening. It's not merely his touch. It's the way his gentle fingers trace along my skin, weaving through the curls at the nape of my neck. An involuntary gasp escapes my lips.
Are you referring to the moment I did this?
It's only a question, but it shatters my composure, taking me on a forbidden journey where all I want to do is whisper, yes, yes, yes. But if I know what's best for me, I should remain firm in saying, no, yet I can't.
Anora.
My clouded eyes meet his intense ones.
Is this the stupid moment?
His voice, tinged with desperation, echoes in my mind like a symphony of chords, mesmerizing me with words I don't need to decipher but are undeniably compelling. Does he really think I'll be able to answer him after everything that's happened? As I drift deeper into the forest brown and leafy greens of his eyes, my body betrays me, nodding slightly, offering him a clear answer. He's close enough, but he steps even closer, drawing his hand further behind my neck, holding me captive within his endless gaze.
What about this moment?
I should be leaping for joy, but my mind is too quick to question his motives. Why are you doing this? My voice falters, tears threatening to spill.
Because in my position, I can't just assume.
When silence hangs in the air, I probe. Assume what?
I need to know.
He hesitates, lost in thought like before. Stop stalling, I retort, running short on patience. This conversation will progress only as far as he's willing to be honest. His eyes wander for several tense seconds, and he licks his lips slowly enough for me to notice, but quickly enough that I shamefully wish I could savor his taste too. I'm officially losing it. Letting out a weary sigh, I ask, need to know what? His unblinking gaze feels intimidating until he retracts his hand, moving back to his desk and resting both palms on it with a heavy sigh. Arthur.
Do you have feelings for me?
First, I choke on the air in my lungs, the sudden motion pushing me forward unexpectedly. Second, I start to laugh. Perhaps a bit hysterically because I don't know any other way to respond in serious situations. Pressing a hand to my chest, I try to calm my racing heart, my pulse, my spiraling emotions, and my chaotic thoughts, because I should have walked out that door when I had the chance.
You have listened to chapters 17 and 18 from Charity Ta'ala's debut novel, A.R.T. Copyright 2025. All rights reserved. Audiobook created by Caridad Inc. as Charity Ta'ala. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved. Audio music produced by Caridad Inc. as Charity Tala. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved. Be sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments section. And click the notification bell so that you are notified when the next chapters are posted. Thank you for listening.